Hi, this is Bob, and I'd like to speak about prayer power, which is free for all of us. This morning I walked with a Muslim friend of mine and we spoke on the tension in the world between religious communities. What we need to do, we both felt, is not fight for God but pray to God and ask for peace in this world. Says Norman Vincent Peale, the only way to make prayer work is simply to pray. Reading about prayer, discussing prayer, hearing about prayer will bring few results unless you actually pray. A poorly dressed lady walked into a grocery store. She softly explained that her husband was very ill and unable to work. They had 7 children and they needed food. John Longhouse, the grocer, scoffed at her and requested that she leave his store at once. She said, "Please, sir, I will bring you the money just as soon as I can." John told her he could not give her credit since she did not have a charge account at his store. The woman wept and people watched. The grocer asked in a very reluctant voice, "Do you have a grocery list?" She replied, "Yes, sir." "Okay," he said with a sneer, "put your list on the scales and whatever your list weighs, I will give you that amount in groceries." She hesitated a moment with a bowed head, then laid the piece of paper on the scale carefully with her head still bowed. The eyes of the grocer and the customer showed amazement when the scales went down and stayed down. The grocer, staring at the scales, turned slowly to the others and said begrudgingly, "I can't believe it." The grocer started putting more stuff on the other side of the scales. The scale did not balance, so he continued to put more and more groceries on them until the scales would hold no more. The grocer stood there in utter disgust. Finally, he grabbed the piece of paper from the scales and looked at it with greater amazement. It was not a grocery list. It was a prayer which said, "Dear Lord, you know my needs, and I'm leaving this in your hands." Ah, the power of prayer. I believe prayer is deep communion with our Creator. Prayer is when we trust and believe the God above has the power not just to hear us, but to act on what we ask for. So, dear listener, trust God to heal you if you're sick, provide food if hungry, clothes and shelter for you who don't have it. Prayer is one of the best free gifts we receive. Prayer power is free power. This morning, my friend, I feel that all this bloodshed and anger between religious communities can be sorted out. That instead of arguing with each other, we can pray for each other and also pray together. If my idea sounds stupid, try it out, it will work. Prayer power is workable power which is free. Thank you. This is Bob, signing off.